Nigeria was among the countries highly anticipated in Kigali to sign the barrier-free Pan-African Trade Pact just days before the AU summit, where 44 countries put pen to paper in support of the intra-Africa Free Trade Area. Its highest decision-making body, the Federal Executive Council, agreed to sign the deal. But President Muhamadu Buhari walked back on the decision and abstained from the conference where the agreement was being signed. He later said Nigeria needed more time to study how an intra-African trade zone devoid of restrictions would advance the national interest of his country. His government later commissioned a country-wide inquiry on whether Nigeria should sign or not. He now says much progress has been recorded in favor of the agreement.
Significant progress has been made in these consultations. The team have met key stakeholders across our 6 geopolitical zones. The responses have been diverse, as would be expected. However, one clear message has emerged, which is that any trade agreement must be both free and fair. This fairness is achievable, and we will work towards it.
Between the 55 African member countries, there's GDP worth $3 trillion. The deal is seeking to free that market potential to member countries by dropping long-standing trade barriers. The deal has a potential to increase intra-African trade by 52.3% from the current 19%. The fear is Nigeria, though as big as its economy is largely monolithic, dependent on crude oil exports. Other sectors like agriculture and service industry have been neglected for decades. Only recently did President Buhari's administration begin emphasizing economic diversification, an effort that could increase tradable Nigerian products with its peers. But those efforts are still in their infant stages, which is why, regardless of the projected benefits of a Pan-African free trade area, no one wants to burn their fingers in excitement.
An extremely important move for Africa, and therefore it's got to be done right. We must never be in a hurry to get things wrong. We must get things right. We must do all the due process so that when you put ink to paper, you can put your hand on your heart and say, I've done everything I'm supposed to do.
Besides conducting consultations across the 36 states of Nigeria on whether or not to join the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, President Muhammadu Buhari's government also constituted an independent research on the pros and cons of signing the deal. The polls involved 512 companies dealing in different products and services across Nigeria, and the result is overwhelming. 69% in favor of the free trade zone. The document is still being reviewed by the government, but the most important thing here is the fact that it gives a rock-solid basis for the president to sign the agreement. Kelechi, Emekalam, CGTN, Abuja, Nigeria.